Breaking news. The rumors are out. Owen Farrell looks like he's joining Racing 92. Personally, I didn't see this one happening. He's a Saracens legend, England poster boy. So the question for me then is, Dad, like, why? Why would he want to go?
I think he'd want to go for a couple of reasons, and you're absolutely right. He definitely is a Saracens legend, and I actually think he's an England legend as well. But he would want to go for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I think he feels massively underappreciated by the England fans, that he doesn't get the credit that he deserves. Number two, as he gets towards the end of his career, there's a big payday in France. You know, there's a big payday in France that he probably wouldn't get at any English Premiership club, sorry, and therefore, why would you not take that? And also, maybe he's just looking to expand his horizons. He's been at Saracens for 15 years. I'm pretty sure he'll have a career beyond being a player in rugby. I think he's going to end up being a coach or head of rugby somewhere. And maybe this is just expanding his horizons. But for me, I think the number one reason is that feeling of underappreciation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's rattle some things off. I'd say, absolutely, this guy is ultra competitive. He wants to go abroad and I think win more stuff. I don't think he's going to do that with Saracens, and without him, I don't think Saracens going to do it either. I think there has been a big drive out from the media. We've said it before. The way the fans reacted to him in the Fiji game was just appalling. Was just atrocious. But I don't think that happens without the media kind of stepping in. I feel like the media somewhat have contrived a narrative of Owen Farrell being like this kind of villainous character. Guy tackles too high, he's dangerous, he's a fool, he can't compete. The dude has won 6 premierships, 3 European Cups, championship, 3 Lions tours. He's silver and a bronze medalist for the World Cup. And I believe, could be wrong on this one, he's the second most high point scorer in world rugby after Dan Carter. Like, there is no one better. You think of Wayne Rooney was an alcoholic. He would sleep with prostitutes. And he's still seen as like one of the best strikers ever for England. But he's achieved far less. So I don't understand why. I feel like there's almost a contrived narrative against him, but from the media to kind of stir up, I don't know, news reports. And I don't see that happening anywhere else or against anyone else.
Okay, so I agree. There's always a contrived narrative there. You can even go back as far as Johnny Wilkinson and Danny Cipriani. There was a contrived narrative there. So definitely the English media always wants to shoot down their top talent. And Farrell has been a victim of that. And it's just sad in a way that the fans have jumped on board it and they can't see all of those things you just reeled off. And a lot of those were domestic things, but also, you know, along with the silver and the gold from a Rugby World point of view,
bronze,
he's won
silver and bronze.
3 Six Nation titles as well.
Yeah.
What did I say? Silver and gold.
He's got my gold sticker.
Why hasn't he got a gold? That's ridiculous. He should have had a gold in 2019. That's probably what I'm thinking. But no, you're spot on. Yeah. So I would definitely say the media's got a hand in this. And if I was Owen Farrell, I'd be like, yep, I'm off. And I guess the interesting thing for me is, you know, why now and not in, what was it, 2019, 2020 when Saracens got relegated? So what's changed for him between now and then?
Because he had everything in front of him, right? He was relegated for Saracens, but I think that's just another hurdle to climb. I think he just had something to prove. That's not just like the club he plays for. That's him. He is Saracens. The success has been built off of his growth, his legacy, the team built around him. So he's proving to all the media who slandered him, probably everyone with their own industry, that kind of threw the club aside and said they were dirty, there was this, there were that, to prove that actually, no, they can get right back up there and they can win and be the best again. He had a hurdle to climb over, and he had a way of, I think, objectively toppling over those loud voices saying a lot of shit. And you had a World Cup. You had a World Cup coming. You just got to a final. You looked really good. Eddie was still in charge. Some hiccups. We had a new philosophy of playing. He was trying a new way. I think he had a future. And right now, I think Saracens have had that success. They've proved it. Well done, them. But I don't see England having another great World Cup. As you said, I don't know if he's going to make the next World Cup. I think he will. I think he will. But whether he can even be selected, but ultimately, I think he can't. How can he prove himself anymore? This is the media that has doggedly picked every little weakness to try and push him down, and I feel like he can't. There's nothing else to fight. He's proven himself. They still want to keep him down. Move on, but have a better life. I think that's why. I think that's why not Nen now, because he has nothing to prove, and it's still not enough.
Yeah, I think you're making a good point, mate. And for me, basically, if I was Farrell, I'd do the same. I'd be off to France.
Well, he's got like a young family right now as well, hasn't he? So like, it's before they're probably going to school. It makes sense. He's in 2 years' time probably hasn't got an opportunity, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's right. And also, at the end of the day, I think we get to the situation where Farrell doesn't need England Rugby, but England Rugby needs Farrell.
Yeah.
And it's like, so what do? Do they go, okay, yeah, you decided you didn't want to play the Six Nations 2024, but actually you can come back and play whenever you want? Or do they go with that hard line of, actually, you're not playing rugby in England, and therefore, mate, you are stuffed?
Well, it's a ridiculous system, though, isn't it? We're going to lose so many great players for it. And other players, so South African rugby, they encourage their players to go abroad, right? I mean, it's different. They have such a bloody wealth of talent that they can push their players to the United Rugby and allow some of them younger players to fill in those spaces. Um, what New Zealand, right? They have like a sabbatical year where they let the players go out to Japan or something to get more culture, a different life, to grow as individuals. But what English rugby, you have to play in the league and that's it.
Yeah.
There's not even like an allowance in Wales. What's it like, 60 caps?
I think it might be 25 now. I think they reduced it from 60 to 25. But it's an arbitrary number. It doesn't matter. It could be 24, and some players will miss out. Some players will be able to do it. But yeah, from a Farrell point of view, change the rules, let him play. But maybe actually he doesn't want to play anymore. Maybe he's just had an absolute bellyful, and he's like, I'm good. I just want to go and do my thing now. And I think England Rugby, they need to change the system, but not necessarily just because of Farrell. Farrell obviously is a figurehead player. He's a legend. He's brilliant. But you think about all those other players who are going to miss out on England selection because they've chosen to go to France. And going back to your point around, South Africa lets players go abroad. New Zealand does let people have sabbaticals, albeit they don't let them play for New Zealand while they're doing it. England Rugby is going to be what suffers here, because there is so much talent drifting away where actually, without those players, England are a weaker nation.
Well, also to add on that, like they're going to lose those players, and they also don't create a scenario or an environment that's advantageous to keep them, right?
Yeah.
The clubs are dying away. You are removing how much they can earn because of the salary caps. You have one less marquee player next year. If you go abroad, you can't play for England. There's also like, what's the reasoning for them to stay? And I gotta say, like, obviously it was sad. We saw Wasps, London Irish, and Worcester leave the league last year, and I do think the league has had a bolster from the teams leaving because of the quality of the players, then kind of falling
Concentration.
into falling into the other clubs. But we're not creating an environment to create English players who see the advantages of staying in England, and nor are we creating for the ones who are playing for England.
Yeah.
You're already creating an unbalancing with the fact that Atoshi just got the centralized contract. Will Farrell get that to keep in England now? So is it just about money for Farrell, or is it all? Does England Rugby think it's all about money?
Yeah, I don't think for a minute it's got anything
No,
to do
he's
with
not.
Farrell and money. Yeah,
No, it's
I
not.
really don't. And I guess actually, I still don't know, and you might know this more than I do. Are those central contracts actually been issued? So I know, we've chatted about it before, and they were on the cusp of being issued, and it was rumored. But have they actually been issued yet?
I don't think I've read anything to say it's confirmed. Which it feels is because of this scenario, it's going to be stripped off the table.
Well, yeah, because one of the main reasons they were doing it was to enable marquee players like Farrell to stay at Saracens while they only had one marquee player. So yeah, it just feels the system and the structure is completely wrong. But having said all of that, I still don't think Farrell's going for any of those reasons. I think Farrell is going because he's underappreciated. And why the hell would you stay?
And I don't know what England do here because I think they have so many scenarios and situations they need to address. They need to address the financial situations of the club, the falling apart of the league, the fact that the league hasn't got any bloody stake. There's no relegations. They're not even sure they're going to bring back the second league into it again. Like the reason why the top 14 is such a great league is the fact there's stake. The fact that I think Montpellier won a couple of years ago and what they bottom right now.
Yeah.
They had the player of the season last year with Zach Mercer, and now they can't even string two wins together. Like there's a real sense of threat. There's a real sense of urgency and growth. You just don't have the league's better this year, but there isn't that quality. And again, it doesn't create that environment for players to stay. So why would Farrell want to stay? When he's playing less games as well. He's playing less games. Like I know these players need more time to recover, but he's playing 6 less games a year now.
What if he goes to France or in England?
No, because of the
Six
number
Nations.
of teams. No, well, with the number of teams within the league, and because of Six Nations. So if he's out of it, there's just even less games. You've got less time to develop your game, to feel part of the club, to do anything.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Do you know what? Just thinking when you were talking there, I was thinking, the top 14 is a very competitive league. Like you say, there's a lot of jeopardy there. There's a lot of stake. He's gonna love that, isn't he?
He's gonna eat it up. He is gonna eat it up. And that's why I think we're going to see some great performances by Farrell, because we're going to see a hungry Farrell again, someone who has to be focused. He's not kind of sort of rolling through the punches, doing the same stuff. He is going to be like laser focused because he has an objective, he has a goal, he has a new thing to prove. And I think again, a lot of it's about proving, a lot of it's about achieving. He's proven it wasn't a dumb move. I've gone over there and won the league.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting because I know Racing right at this moment they are top of the top 14, but I still can't see them winning it. But either way, just forgetting Farrell for a minute, and just as a fan, I cannot wait to get out there and watch him play for Racing. Get to that La Défense Arena. That is going to be such a trip, isn't it?
Oh, this is traitors talk, man. This is traitors.
If he's gone,
we
might as well enjoy him abroad. I do see that. Yeah.
Like it's sad as hell. It's sad as hell that he's going, but I know you're saying it. To see him in a new environment is going to be fucking excellent. It's going to be so good. But I just think it's such a sorry day for England rugby, and I just think it's really making us a laughing stock.
It'll be fascinating to see how England do in the Six Nations this year. Without a Farrell, whether he goes or he doesn't go, there's no Farrell in the Six Nations.
Do you think we allow him to play?
What
do you think we change the rules? We speculate a lot, but
so I would say forget Farrell. We should just bloody change the rules anyway, because players playing in France, some become a better player because of it, some don't. This whole nation you have to be playing in England has got nothing to do with England rugby. It's got to do with trying to promote the Premiership league. But I think players should be able to play anywhere and be available for selection. And there should just be separate effort made to just bring some pizzazz to the English Premiership games. If you think about it, so this over the festive period, it had the highest record crowds attending Premiership games, and a lot.
Oh, really?
A lot of that was to do with obviously the big game that Quins put on at Twickenham, which was immense. They did a great job. But also, if you think about the women's game, their crowds are growing and growing and growing. So something needs to be done to connect people with club rugby, and it's nothing to do with England rugby. They're two separate things. The more we tie them together, the more we're going to get it wrong.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And like to back up your point, I think not just in the Rugby World Cup, a French broadcast company signed the biggest deal ever for broadcasting rugby. It was like I think a quarter of a billion, which whoa, quarter of a million.
I'll pay you that. Yeah.
I think, and that's why there's a lot of issues on YouTube with videos getting demonetized because they're using World Cup footage, and this company doesn't want that.
Yeah.
But also the broadcasting rights for Premiership rugby, I think it was the biggest year they've had yet. So there is a growth, there is a demand, but you're literally like standing on the neck of the league and you're not letting it grow. I don't quite agree with your point that we should just let them go. I think there should be an element that we let them go after a point. I think maybe a similar format as Wales, a 25, maybe 30, I don't know. But I think you want to almost let them earn their stripes. I think we do still somehow need to keep the league with quality players, because I think otherwise the paychecks you get abroad, and also I think the state of just the league itself, there's people who just want to jump to another league nowadays because they're going to want to go to the best leagues. But I think that you will lose some talent.
So the only thing I say there, you're saying, oh, we have to earn your rights to kind of stay, and because we'll lose talent. But a player going to France doesn't mean you've lost talent. That just means you've got a player
within the league, though. Within the league, I think if you have too much going away from the league, how much I think the league is slightly on a downturn compared to other leagues, which are just like United Rugby. Poof, they're shooting up.
Do you think they are? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I know.
You think about they've introduced South African clubs. I think it's helped them so much, and I think with that,
an English South African league.
But again, it kills it for the fans. We've got enough. We have enough clubs.
Yeah.
We have enough clubs within our league to sustain it, and we have enough for a second division to create stake. Yeah. But I don't think we need it, where the other ones would need it.
Yeah.
All right, just to round this off, who's replacing him? I'm not asking for anyone else. I need to know who's replacing him. Finn Russell probably could have been a good replacement, but he's just signed on for Bath for I think $1 million a year. Pollard is one of the highest performers probably in the world right now as a fly half, but he's marquee signing for Leicester. He's unlikely to go unless we throw in a big bag at him. Ford doesn't want to go into Owen Farrell's shadow anymore. Marcus Smith, maybe, but probably not. I think he's a Quins through and through. There's no one out there. There's just no one for us. Do you have anyone in mind?
So no, I do not. I think
okay.
There's nobody who could come in and replace Farrell, because he's beyond the player. He's a man of the club. He's a legend. He's a talisman. The one player that just flickers in my mind as a possibility, if you think Leicester have got Andre Pollard, maybe Saracens could go for Marnie Lebock. But he hasn't got necessarily got the goal king credentials, but that is the one name that comes to my mind. But otherwise, otherwise I think we're screwed.
All right, yeah. No, I agree. I think we're screwed. I think the media has tarnished the name of a great man who's done great things. I think it's probably the right move for Owen. And I think it's real stake in the heart for English rugby. But hopefully it's a moment they have to force to grow. And ultimately, it wasn't a red card before the World Cup. It wasn't a red card.
It wasn't. And I guess just to really wrap this up, Farrell, whatever you decide to do, good luck to you, mate, because you are a legend.
Wasn't that video great? If you like that, there's no one right here for you to watch. Go click it. And to make sure you get notified for all things Rugby Social, give us a like and subscribe just down below. And welcome to the club. Cheers.